Hello, everyone. While I get these cards out of here. So, I'm going to get into my spiel while I wait for you all to get in here. Because I know, again, this is janky for right now. It's not my usual setup. But as I said before, I am in the midst of like traveling and stuff. And so I don't have my typical things with me, but there was a few topics that I wanted to do a reading on. And so you see the thumbnail, you see the title, you know, today I want to get into at least three big ones. One of them being the SKIMZ investigation. The second one being, I heard rumors of Tulsi Gabbard apparently stepping down because her husband has cancer. I don't know if I really believe that, especially in the midst of America ramping up its war efforts. And then the other one was if Megan actually did get Sexxy Red blackballed. Because if you haven't seen some of the things that were going on, Sexxy Red has kind of like fallen off, and she's kind of picked a side since, you know, her feature, apparently people are taking her feature on Drake's album as her picking a side. So those are the three topics I want to get into today. Feel free to put questions in if you have any. I will try to get to them if I feel comfortable with them or if I have time, or more so like energy. But with that being said, I figured I should probably get into the first part of this, which is probably the Megan Sexxy Red issue, because I don't think I've done a reading on these two. I don't think I have. I feel like I've done several readings on Megan Thee Stallion over the years. I think I've only done one on Sexxy Red because I don't particularly care for her as a character. I'm gonna say a character. So I don't really care for her as a character, but yeah. So let me see what I get here for Megan and Sexxy Red. I did see one flip over here. I do have the lady coming up in reverse in regards to Megan. Her energy towards Sexxy Red. I don't like this person. But let's see if that's actually supposed to stick. If you're just getting in, I'm doing Megan Thee Stallion and Sexxy Red's apparent beef and the alleged or the allegations that Megan Thee Stallion has gotten Sexxy Red blackball. So that's what I'm reading on first. Okay. She thinks she is conniving. She thinks she is not a true character. That she is a trickster. I'm getting something probably playing the industry game, which is funny, I think, coming from Meg, because I feel like Meg plays the industry game. But let me see if I'm going to get something else here. Oh, okay. So what is the gossip and stuff that's going on behind the scenes? What has been told? What has been said? What's the conversation about Sexxy Red that has gotten back, or some like rumors or gossip that have gotten back to Megan Thee Stallion about Sexxy Red? Has she heard that maybe Sexxy Red has said some things about her? Is that why she see her as a fox? Let's see what Sexxy Red's energy is giving here in regards to Megan Thee Stallion. Okay. Does she feel like she's lucky to have made some kind of connections? There's somebody that Sexxy Red feels like Meg is lucky to have like connected with in some sense. And the reason why I say this is because the Garden is like my socialite card. It's the party card. Sometimes it can talk about connections, and then we also have Clover, which is like luck. That's good fortune. So what's the good fortune that Sexxy Red feels like Meg Thee Stallion has, that's like keeping her, I guess, guarded or protected in some sense here? Let's see what's coming up with the energy between these two. If I sound like I have a lack of energy, it's just because I just ate and I am fighting the itis right now. So, see, look. And then I also have the house. What's going on here? I'm hearing the house is stacked against you. The house always win. Oh, you know something else that flipped over? It's 3 cards that actually flipped over in my hand in the deck. So there's some kind of sense of unloyalty here. The dog is usually like a loyal companion, friendship, but it's coming up in reverse. So this is talking about that there is a sense of unloyalty, unfealty, no friendship here between the two. Hi, Gigi. And then we also have a ring, like a commitment. There's no business dealing here. Yeah, I just keep getting something about like a commitment, collaboration. Like there's none of that. And then we also have the clouds. This seems like most of this is stemming from behind the scenes. Look, okay, so the other underlying energy here is whips. I'm also getting the moon as well. So something that is obscure and secrecy. Maybe secrets being spilled. Something somebody knows about the other. And unanchored here because the anchor is coming up in reverse. What is that? Okay, let's see. Is Meg actively worked against Sexy Red? Because that is the allegations and the rumors. I'm not saying it's true. You can make you can come to your own conclusion upon the reading I'm doing, or further investigation if you so can, if you're so inclined. But I'm just giving you what I'm getting out the cards. Here we go with that garden again. It's something about connections and network. It's something about connections and network. Oh, is it? Okay, so is it simply just because the lines have been drawn in the sand essentially between Sexy Red and Megan Thee Stallion, making it hard for them to like work in some sense? Um it kind of feels like at one moment in time or one point or another in their career, they would have worked together. They did have some kind of like um admiration or drive to work with one another. But I think because one is solely in one camp of something, and the other is in one camp of another, it's making it hard for them to work together. And I am sad to say, I wonder if it is stemming from that Nikki situation where Nikki alleges that Megan told her to get an abortion, because I have the whips and the child up here. Did Sexy Red feel some type of way that she said aborting the child? Or does Megan feel some type of way about, because Sexy Red has said some off-color stuff to me, some off-putting stuff to me when it comes to children, like shut up and let the kids listen to her music, knowing it's not for children. So I wonder if there's some fundamental differences maybe in kind of like their upbringing or something coming up here that's like keeping them apart. Let me see if I can get some more clarity. I'm going to try to pull for 1 or 2 more cards. Okay, let's see here. I have the book. I know something about you. I've heard some things. Remember earlier I also got the birds card, which is like rumors, game of telephone, connections, communication. Now I have the book, knowledge, information, being in the know. The book is coming up here. So there's something here that, and I strongly feel like it's probably Megan. There's something that Meg really knows about or have become aware of, or she has an inkling about when it comes to Sexy Red. And I think it's just those two do not mesh well. And vice versa. It could be that Sexy Red knows something as well. Look, we also have the key coming up here in reverse. That door is firmly closed and locks put away. We also have that lady. You know, it's funny I said that lady because I feel like, who did I mention earlier? Miss Nikki herself. Some people refer to her as that lady on Twitter. So, and then here we go with that house, and not getting a house divided, essentially. Well, there you go. I just think, some people just aren't meant to like each other, and that's okay. It sucks for us as listeners, but some people just don't like each other in the industry. You have to be okay that they don't like each other. Now, next one I'm going to get into. Tulsi Gabbard. Is she really stepping down from her position because her husband is sick? Or is she trying to fall? Or is she trying to avoid the fallout of this whole war stuff that's going on right now? America is at war on many different fronts. There is I guess you could say, like a proxy war going on in Mexico or South America. You have the supposed war that's ramping up with Cuba. You have the war with Russia and Ukraine that we're kind of like saying we're not in, but we're in. You have the war that's going on in Iran. And all of that's going on. You have, I don't know if you would call this war, but I know there's a scuffle, altercation that's going on in Nigeria. Excuse me, if it is a full-blown war, I'm not too informed about it, but I know there's something else. And then, there's the thing here in America where some people say we are going through a proxy civil war, or I guess you could say, or a cold civil war, in a sense, where, people are kind of like firmly drawing their, waving their flag of which side they represent, whether they are, President Trump's party, or if they are, in the middle, or if they are wholly and fully against Trump and his whole party and everything they represent. So, yeah, I wonder if she's stepping down for that, or if she's really stepping down for her husband's health. So I figured I'd pull some cards to see what I'm going to get for Tulsi Gabbard. Let's see. Okay, I have two cards here that wants to come out. Ooh, moving on, we have the Rider. The Rider also can speak to messages being delivered. She is the, what is it? It's not the decor, the house of decor, or the house of, she's the, I know she's like over security and stuff. I think it's like the CIA and stuff like that. But, here we have the Rider, so I find that interesting. I also see the heart here coming up in reverse that wanted to come out, so there's no love lost there for her. I think it's crazy. I think, to me, the reason why this is so shocking that she's stepping down is because it seems like she has been campaigning for this position since she first came out trying to run for presidency. And now it's for her to finally have it, just to like step away because her husband is sick. And maybe I'm a bit jaded, I guess the word is going to be. Because I feel like most people, in politics is like, yeah, so what, their spouse or whatever is sick. They took so long to get into these positions of power. There's no way that they see themselves being removed or removing themselves from these positions of power because of the access and the influence that they can exercise and that they have. And for her to have, it seemed like she has worked for at least 10 plus years to get to this position, just to sit back at home because her husband is sick, is, yeah, it just smells fishy to me. But again, that could be me being jaded. I think the job is not what she thought it was going to be. I'll say that, especially under Trump. I had one card fall on the floor. I'm going to grab that in a minute. I want to see if I'm going to get 2 or 3 other cards here. Okay, there's 2 and 3. Okay. One second. Show you all what I got. Ooh. Okay, so one thing for sure that popped up to me when I seen the mice card, I got something about like feeding on a carcass, like eating on a carcass. Uh, that's concerning, but okay, no, I know why I'm getting that picture. Does Tulsi feel like America is a hull or a shell of what it used to be, and right now people are just feasting on what's left of her? That's kind of like the analogy I got in mind. Um, it just kind of feels like feasting on the remnants, the leftover. Also with the mice, I usually get the sense of like worries. It could be disease, pestilence, those kind of things. It could also be concerns that come up when I see the mice card, especially with it coming up in reverse. And then I also have the ring here. Again, that non-committal energy, no commitment, no collaboration, no reason on the books why this should have to work. No engagement here with the ring coming up in reverse. And then, funny enough, the last card I have is the cross, and this comes up in the upright. This usually speaks to faith, hope. It can speak to religion. Trying to see what else is coming up for me with this. I'm getting holy wars too. Holy wars, feeding on the carcass of America with no sign of commitment or engagement. Holy wars, or faith and hope coming up here. To be fair, the mice, if I was going to read this in a more open-minded way, these also could be referring to her husband. Mice, I was talking about, it can speak to illness. That is her husband. Her marriage is not in the best of standing here with the ring coming up in reverse. And there's the fight for the faith and hope, and hoping for her husband to get better. You know, a lot of people turn to religion during illnesses. But I'm telling you what I got the first time. That's what popped out to me. But just to be reading this in a more wholesome way, that's also what it could be referring to. Oh yeah, I did. I should have pulled the cards off from underneath. Let me read the cards. I remember it was the star and the bear was the two of the cards that I seen underneath. I'm trying to see if I'm gonna jog my memory if I see the other one before I started shuffling like crazy. I don't remember. I do remember the star and the bear was the underlying energy. So I'm going to point that out because the bear is usually feeling defensive. That's motherly energy. That is fighting for what you believe in. That's protecting for what you believe in. It could also sometimes, you know, for me, it means like taking time away, hibernating. The stars. This usually to me is I'm thinking like northern star direction. Which way should I go? What should I do? What's the path forward? What is what's my guiding light here? What's my northern star that's gonna guide me forward? Okay. And who is Taylor Terry, Riri? Welcome to the live. Oh, okay. I could do so after this one and see what I get. Again, the man is coming up in reverse. Now, if I was to read this, I could read this in 2 or 3 ways. The man could be referring to Trump. It could be referring to other members of the cabinet. Or it could simply be referring to her husband. Let's see if I can get some clarity here. I had 2 cards kind of come up for this. I was trying to inquire after this mice card. Okay. Things are in confusion. Things are not clear. That would explain the mice here. I'm concerned about something that I can't see, that I can't predict, that is not being told to me or shown to me at this time. Key. I'm hearing not having access to certain things, being locked out of certain things. Huh? Oh, you know what? Did she feel like, I don't know. Y'all, somebody tell me. Was she kind of handicapped in her job? Was she not given full access and the full capacity of her job, her position? That would explain why she feels like this was some bull, why she's ready to step away. Okay, lastly, for Tulsi Gabbard. Okay, why would the stork and the dog come up for her? Loyalty, gifting. Bringing in good news or some kind of aspiration or the birth of something here with the stork. The dog is usually loyalty, good friendship. I'm thrown for a loop there. See, yeah, information. I'm not trusting the information I'm being given. Sorry. We have the snake here coming up in reverse. Before that, it was the birds. Why is she not trusting the information she is receiving? What information is she receiving? Or who is the message coming from? I don't know. Well, Tulsi, good luck to you. I kind of mean that sarcastically because I don't really believe you're one of the good ones. But I do wish your husband good health. And if you are stepping away for what I think you are, good. May you not return. I just don't believe in her. I just don't have the utmost trust in her, personally. So, next, I had a request to do a reading on Taylor Terry and Chris Brown. So, is there something specifically I need to be reading on? Is it just like a synergy reading that you want reread? I am still going to do the SKIMZ reading. I was saving that one for last because I knew that was probably like the bigger one for the day that people want to see. And please note, everyone, I know I didn't say this at the top, but please note that these readings are for entertainment purposes only, okay? And that... You know, I don't want this to be something where you just take what I say and it's like, oh, it's the truth. I'm using cards, okay? So I'm just a girl on the corner of the internet practicing cardomancy, okay? I am not telling the whole world what is and isn't, okay? Okay, so an energy reading. Okay, so I could do that. For sure, Riri. Let's see what I'm going to get here. Okay, so I have 3 cards here in regards to Chris Brown's energy with Taylor. So funny enough, I do get the whip card coming up here. If you don't know what that is, sometimes this could be the clean version of this would be repetition, which will make sense if they are doing routines. I think he is also gearing up for a concert, so this will make sense of a routine of steps that you are going to follow and that you're going to go through. But the unclean version of this, or I would say not unclean, the naughtier side of the whips card is just what you think it is. It's the naughty by nature kind of thing that's going on here with the whips, if you pick up what I'm putting down. We do also have the writer. So this could speak to gossip. It could speak to communications. Think of things like, I usually think of things like long distance. So usually stuff like online. So maybe they talk about online. Again, this could also be in regards to travel, because if this is his background dancer and he is gearing up for a concert, this will also make sense. But then I have the tower, which is interesting because the tower coming up in reverse. Well, you know what? No, actually, this will make sense. Um, Chris Brown operates in a weird, I guess you could say, liminal space where he's not um, a part of the industry, because the tower in the Lenormand doesn't speak to like bad things happening. It's usually speaking to like a large government entity, or you could say like the industry itself, Hollywood. Um, this would explain why this is coming up in reverse, because he kind of operates outside of the industry, and yet the industry, a lot of people in the industry work with him, especially the R&B girlies. Flip of the tongue, R&B girlies. My bad. So that's what's coming up for Chris's energy. Let's see what I'm gonna get here for Taylor. Okay, first thing first. Again, okay, so Shed Light Riri, is there something that's preventing her from working with him this time? Because the ship, again, that's also speaking of travel. This is long distance travel as well. Is she probably joining him on maybe the U.S. tour and not the world tour? It will probably be like the split, because we have the writer here. This could be talking about short distances, whereas the ship is long distance, if you get what I'm saying. So I don't know if that's something that's coming up. Let's see here. Oh, I got another card that flew off to the side. Let's see if I can get it. Okay, she's in the know about something. I am also hearing books. Um, Books is usually knowledge, information. What else is coming up here with Taylor? Okay. Has there been buzz that there's something going on between these two? And like not in a good way. Is it all just business? Did they have a recent falling out? Do they have like a toxic relationship? Oh, let's see here. I want to know these two this. Are they coming up on something where maybe they're not going to be the best as their friends? With the scythe here, that's usually cutting something out. Mountain, this is a uphill battle. Something, that's an obstacle. Tree, coming up in reverse. That's, to me, this is usually like a break of connection here. What's going on here? And then we also see snake. Yeah, with these cards I'm convinced that these two probably are not on the best of terms, or they're going to have some kind of in the future. How will Chris feel if Taylor leaves him? Let's see if I get something right going on here. Like it's some toxic relationship stuff. Let's see, one more card here, because this one is not clear to me. Oh, I'm not really getting much, okay? Let me switch this up a little bit, because the cards are not falling. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. Interesting. A man does come up in reverse. I don't know if she has a boyfriend already or something, but a man does come up here. I don't know this man. I'm sorry to this man. I don't know who this man is. But then we also have the letter. The letter for me usually speaks to contracts, documentation. It could just be that, a letter. But I usually think of like legal matters, something that is like you must commit to. There's nothing coming out of that here. So maybe she can't leave him because of contractual things, and maybe that's something that's leading to their rift. I don't know if it's like a slave contract kind of thing, but something makes me feel like there's some, I'll say, blood in the water between these two. I don't think they're on the best of terms, especially when the energy that I'm getting here in the center is a snake, the tree, in reverse, mind you, the mountain, and the scythe. It's not, to me, it doesn't read like the best. And for Taylor's energy, I did get the coffin, and usually that's like, something coming to a dead end, something coming to a rest, something that is going away. She also did get the ship coming up in reverse. So I wonder if these two are headed towards a breakup or something. Let's see. Do they mix business with pleasure? I would not be surprised coming when it comes to Chris Brown, but let's see. I have heard rumors of him sleeping with one of his other dancers, so I wouldn't be surprised at all. The other thing I will say, I want to ask, is Taylor an Asian looking mixed racial woman? Because then I would totally believe it. Because she will remind him of Karuchi. I do have some protective energy here. Um, is there like a, what they call it? Like a territorial thing that's going on here? I'm gonna want to say no. Okay, I want to say no because the garden is coming up here in reverse. And to me, usually the garden and the upright is usually like, that speaks to like partying, really close friendship, networking. But it's coming up in reverse. So I want to kind of get like there's it's just a business thing, but I'm gonna see if I get anything else here. But I do think these two, at least on this current energy, they didn't have some kind of little skirmish here. Or maybe there's some allegations of unfair treatment, or maybe the rumors of them being together is, and if she is with someone, is infringing upon her relationship. I don't know, but something feels a little rocky between them. I would say that. And she may very well be his favorite dancer, but it's just when it comes to dance. Because maybe she delivers. He knows she's going to deliver. Yeah, I'm keep getting this snake card coming up, so I don't know what this is about. Because to me, usually the snake is not a good sign card. That's usually like want to say like two-headedness, sneakery, you know, plotting on my demise type of energy. I don't think these two are mixing business with pleasure. Looking at these cards that I'm getting, at least now. They probably did in the past, but the cards I'm getting now, I would say no. I think that's over and done. Here we go with that letter again. I think it's work. I think it's just work. I think it's just work. I don't think there is anything romantic going on there. I'm getting that whips card again for the underlying energies. I don't think so. I'm going to have to say no. Look, I also get the dog coming up in reverse. And usually the dogs is like friendship, loyalty, fealty. But it's coming up in reverse. This is reading like business to me personally. If I had to bet $1 on this, I would say it's business only. Yeah. I'm gonna say business only. Oh, you know what's funny? I went to reshuffle the cards. These are the two cards that fell out. Fox and man. A tricky man, an untrustworthy man, a man that sleep around. And notice what the man look like. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no, Riri. I don't think he does. I think he likes her just for what she does. She's a good dancer. I think they have good chemistry and stuff when it comes to the dance floor. When it comes to putting things together. I don't think it's more than that. At least not what I'm getting right now in this current energy. Maybe once upon a time, but not now. Alright. Now lastly, I want to, or next, unless somebody, just in case somebody has another one they want to see. But I want to do a reading on the, so if you haven't heard, so when I say the SKIMZ is being a front, if you haven't heard in the news, there was a confiscation of Doug's at one of the SKIMZ shipment, and people are like, oh crap, she's been smuggling, you know, SKIMZ probably isn't doing as well as she say she is because she's just smuggling something else with it. So I figured, let's see if there's going to be some kind of investigation. If it is a front, is it a money wash kind of business, to see what's going on. I do think this is not a good time for this to be coming out about Kim's business, because we have heard time and time again of other shady businesses and dealings that her and her family have been roped into. Apparently Chris and her has you know, gone into legal battle with Ray J, that Chris's husband is apparently a part of the CIA, that the Kardashians are tied up with the Epstein files. What else have I heard that's like legal wise that has been concerning? You know, it's just been a couple of things here and there. I won't forget the Kylie thing about them fudging the numbers to where she was the youngest person on Forbes, I believe, and that wasn't really true about how much money she made. So, you know, the list goes on. However, I want to see if this SKIMZ one, you know, because to me, where there's smoke, there's got to be fire. But let's see if this one is actually something to be concerned about and what's going on. Ooh. Okay. What do you know? The first arc that comes up. Ooh, a string of bad luck. Who told? Who said something? Who opened their mouth? String of bad luck, huh? And then we also have snake. underhandedness, trickery, um, doing things, doing whatever you need to do to get ahead here with the snake. And then, what do you know? It is a business, right? She gets the fish. The fish usually speaks to fortune, money. I do also want to know two cards that flipped over. Excuse me, that flipped over in my hand. The Kardashians are all about their family and their empire. And we get the tree coming up. And then I also get, what do you know? Something that's not on the books, that's not documented. Letters is usually, especially in the upright, usually speaks to like contracts, documentation, legal dealings. But it's coming up in reverse. I do wanted to point those two out. Is she doing this for somebody else in the family, maybe? Because I did get the tree, and usually the tree to me is connections, family, lineage, those kind of energies. But oh, what do you know? What else comes up in reverse for the underlying energy? Whips. I also get crossroads. What do we do from here? Now that it's been called out, now that it's something that we've been stuck in, what do we do? Where do we go from here with the crossroads? The whips also came up in reverse. This makes me feel like, how can I put this? Allegedly, and the example I'm going to give is like, you know how you have a normal shipment of something that comes in, it's your business, but maybe something got off the line later than you thought, so you had to do another shipment that cost more, or it had to go through another route or another form of delivery in order for you to get it. I kind of feel like that's what's going on with this drug situation with SKIMZ. It kind of feels like this wasn't what it was supposed to be with, because they knew they were being watched and they didn't want something to be holding up the shipments and the packaging, but because of rush orders or something being held back, or something kind of like going haywire, they went forward with what they could, and that's how they got caught. And then I also see who's that lady? Who's that lady? Coming up in reverse here. Who is that lady? I'm going to say that lady is Chris. I mean, some people would be inclined to say it's Kim. I'm going to say it's Chris. She gives me drug dealer energy. Let's see what else we're going to get here. I do not think, yeah, I'm going to say this is something to do with Chris. I'm going to show you why. I don't feel, I feel like maybe Kim had an inkling something was going on, but I don't think she was in the know, because the key is coming up here in reverse. I don't think she was in the know of what was going on. I think she was just going on business as usual. This is what it is. This is how I can do what I love. This has really broke through some things and barriers and stuff for me. But I think her mother, because look, that lady card is coming up again in reverse. And then I also have the child here. I think her mother took advantage of this. I strongly feel like this is probably her mother. Me personally, allegedly. That's my personal opinion. I feel like her mom has something to do with it. Okay. And you know what? I don't think they're going to face any legal repercussions about this either, because, again, I'm getting the letter in reverse. I don't think they're going to face any legal repercussions. I'm not surprised. I think this is going to get swept under the rug with everything else that they do, that they've been called out about. Look, the sun also comes up in reverse. Somebody about to hide this and sweep this under the rug. Is it going to be hard to prove who did it and where it came from here with the mountain coming up as well? Who's trying to investigate it? Now, if they got a dog lawyer or a dog investigator that's looking to make an example out of people in Hollywood, he's looking to make a name for himself, the Kardashians could wrap it up. It's probably going to be a hard battle for him to do it. It's probably going to take a long time. But I just don't feel like they're going to face repercussions, though, because I'm getting the letter and the sun coming up here. And then I also have the garden. Who gonna tell? Who gonna say something? They got connections. Look, and the other underlying card here, what we got? The coffin. This is dead in the water. No pun intended. Scythe. They not extracting anything out of this. They're not gonna get any more information. I think this is all you gonna hear about it. And what do you know? That lady comes up again in reverse. Oh, it's a couple people involved in this. I said it was something to do with the family. Look. All of these was the underlying energies. 2 ladies and a man. Is this about Kanye's workout plan? Somebody tell me. For all my friends. I'm going to say yes. That man popped out as I was thinking about that Kanye situation. What's this other card that want to pop out? There is no way forward. There is no way to go. There is nothing for you to look into. There's nothing for you to do. There's nothing to see here. Keep it moving. With the crossroads coming up in reverse. And then lastly, oh, the luck card coming up again. This could be 2 ways. Is it lucky for the Kardashians, or is this luck for whoever found it? It was just, you got lucky, you lucked up. But it's not going to go any further than this. I'm trying to understand why this child card keep coming up. Why does this child card keep coming up about this? Oh, I'm getting 2 of the same cards. I think they're worried about what this discovery of the shipment and stuff means. But I'm also getting that snake card again. And the fish. And one thing that keeps coming up to me while I look up the snake again to see if I'm the snake and the child. Something I'm getting with this fish card is that, which I'm not surprised about, this is a means to an end, so we can focus this money or funnel this money towards something else that we have going on. Because there's some other concerns, there's again some other dealings that the Kardashians are dealing with, and this is helping us. This is like a favor, scratch my back, I scratch yours kind of thing, it feels like. And if we do this, it's going to help us further on down the road with something else that they got going on. I do want to note that the snake deals with rivalry, deceit, and betrayal. Who told? In work, this card means difficulties, unprofessionalism, and unfair competition, office intrigues. What's the child again? Let's see what the child is. The child deals with trust. They trusted the wrong person. It suggests a naive, unprofessional approach to business. It may mean a lack of proper experience, knowledge, and qualifications. More training may be required to take advantage of good opportunities. Who snitched and told? They trying to root out who did it. Who was this man that told? I think it was a man that told about the SKIMZ shipment. But they gonna bury it and it's not gonna go any further. That's what I feel like I'm getting here. I don't think this is gonna go anywhere else. They'll make it was an accident on this man. They got a fall guy or something. I don't think it's going anywhere. I would be happy to be wrong on that, but I don't see it going anywhere. Somebody told her reveal something, and that now they about to button up. It's about to become even harder to get information because they definitely clearing house. And I think they did this on behalf of somebody. I think it was like a favor. Yep, I'm gonna wrap it up there. Let me know what you all think about this. What you think is going on with the Kardashians, Skims smuggling business, or for anything else that I read on today, especially like the Tulsi Gabbard situation. Because that one is a big confusion for me because I'm not all into the politics and what's been going on with her. So shedding light on that. Ooh, excuse me, I was trying to hold that in. So shedding light on that would be wonderful as well. But with all of that being said, I want to thank you all for joining me for this reading, for being here, for giving it a thumbs up, for subscribing. Yes, you. I see you hesitate about subscribing. Go ahead and subscribe. I'm only a few away from 500, and it would be appreciated if I can get there to that point this year, so I can be in the YouTube club essentially. So, with all that being said, again, share your opinions, your comments, your insights down below, because I do read those comments. With all of that being said, you all have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday, Memorial Day if you're here in the U.S., because we celebrating early around here. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.